Today, we'll look back on why the U.S. needs two separate classes of amphibious warriors: Marine Raiders and Navy SEALs. Same battlefield, but different muscles. After the attack on Pearl Harbor, President Roosevelt was fired up to fight back, but the Navy was all banged up and needed time to heal. Marines were stuck twiddling their thumbs, waiting for their turn. Meanwhile, those British Commandos in Europe were all the rage. Roosevelt wanted some American heroes like that too. Marines seemed like a natural fit, with that being seasoned-born fighters and all. But some bigwigs in the Marines disagreed. They figured all Marines were already top-notch. No need for a fancy new group. The Navy's big cheese, Admiral Nimitz, stepped in and said, "Enough with the name games. Train these guys to be super soldiers and hit the lightly guarded Japanese islands hard." Finally, to avoid any hurt feelings, they just called them Raiders. Initially, 2 battalions were created. These Raiders later evolved into Marine Raiders, formally established a dedicated Special Operations Force within the Marine Corps. In 1962, another elite Special Operations Force emerged within the U.S. Navy. President John F. Kennedy himself strongly supported for their formation. Known as the Navy SEALs, these highly trained fighters are capable of operating in any environment at any time. Their motto, never out of the fight, and the only easy day was yesterday. These SEALs live by those words, pushing themselves to the limit and never giving up. They've earned nicknames like Frogmen and the Men with Green Faces. Over the years, SEALs have been involved in some of the most critical conflicts, from the Vietnam War to the war in Afghanistan. They've conducted daring hostage rescues, taken down terrorists, and proven themselves time and again to be an unstoppable force. Spearheading Marine Corps Special Operations, the Marine Raiders excel in several key areas. Direct action raids leverage their offensive capabilities to capture or neutralize enemy targets with precision strikes. Special reconnaissance missions see them operating deep behind enemy lines, gathering vital intelligence through covert infiltration. Foreign internal defense is another core competency for MARSOC. They act as force multipliers, training and advising partner nations. This empowers them to counter insurgencies, defend their borders, and maintain stability within their own region. Their expertise extend to counterterrorism operations, where they disrupt and dismantle terrorist organizations, and information warfare, employing strategic communications and deception techniques to gain an advantage over adversaries. On the other hand, Navy SEALs dominate every battlefield imaginable, from steaming jungles to frozen Arctic. SEALs operate in small, highly trained units, adapting to any environment. Their missions are as diverse as their skills. They can be tasked with snatching high-value targets or infiltrating enemy lines to gather crucial intel. Nothing is off limits for these warriors. They are experts in direct assaults, reconnaissance, sabotage, demolitions, and even mapping underwater terrain. Their knowledge is vast, making them invaluable assets not just in combat, but also in training and advising allied forces. For Marine Raider, you gotta be between 18 and 28. U.S. citizenship is non-negotiable. High school diploma or GED is a check. Now, let's talk physical fitness. You gotta crush the PFT with a score of at least 235. Think pull-ups, push-ups, and running. Gotta be a beast. Your brain matters too. You need a minimum score of 105 on the GT portion of the ASVAB test. You gotta pass the MARSOC medical screening. Speaking of water, you better be a strong swimmer and ace the MARSOC swim assessment. Last but not least, you gotta be able to get a secret security clearance. Becoming a Navy SEAL isn't for everyone, and the requirements are just as tough as the training itself. Just like Raiders, SEAL candidates go through a deep background check. You gotta be a U.S. citizen between 17 and 28 years old and built for the water. Passing a diving medical exam is a must. You need to score high on the ASVAB test. The Navy SEAL Physical Screening Test, or PST, is no joke. We're talking about a 2.5-mile run in under 10 minutes, a 450-meter swim you gotta crush in under 12 minutes, and then crank out 42 push-ups, 50 sit-ups, and 6 pull-ups like a machine. Now remember, this is just the starting line. These requirements are the first step for both SEALs and Marine Raiders. The real challenge lies ahead, surviving the training. Marine Raiders' brutal selection leads to 9 months of elite combat training. An intense 40-week transforms recruits into elite fighters. The first 10 weeks lay the foundation, followed by 8 weeks honing teamwork. Brutal close combat training takes 5 weeks, while another 7 weeks prepare them for any fight imaginable. Finally, 10 weeks are dedicated to mastering a new language, ensuring they can operate seamlessly in any environment. This is just a peek at how Raiders are transformed into ultimate warriors. Becoming a Navy SEAL isn't for the faint of heart. It's a brutal, year-long training designed to weed out the weak. First up, you'll transform into a sailor through basic training. Then, it's prep school to sharpen your skills for the real beast, BUDS training. This program is designed to identify and cultivate elite operators. Sleep deprivation protocols are replicated real-world operational stress. Physical conditioning will be meticulously calibrated to achieve peak performance. A 7 days Hell Week is designed to assess a candidate's ability to perform under extreme physical and mental strain. After graduating BUDS course, SEAL qualification training takes another 6 months to hone your skills in specific areas like diving, weapons, and tactics. The training is so demanding that tragically, some recruits haven't made it out alive. But those who do persevere through the fire become part of an elite brotherhood, the Navy SEALs. They are the guardians who operate in the shadows, the warriors who answer the nation's call in the darkest of times. The Marine Raiders have come a long way since World War II. Today, they're armed with the latest and greatest in special ops tech. We're talking high-tech helmets that give them a heads up on the battlefield, night vision that lets them see in the dark, and body armor that turns them into walking tanks. And the firepower? Don't even get me started. The Mk-18 SBR carbine and the reliable Glock 19 pistol are just a taste of the tools Raiders bring to the fight. Basically, if there's a weapon or gadget that can give them an edge, Marine Raiders have it. Now, let's talk about the Navy SEALs. These guys are legendary for a reason. They're decked out in some of the most expensive special ops gear ever assembled. We're talking top-of-the-line hardware like the Mk-18 CQBR and the M9 1A2 sniper rifle for long-range takedowns, and the M2 machine gun for serious firepower, and they're always upgrading. Recently, they ditched their old sidearm, the Sig Sauer, for their ever-reliable Glock 19. Of course, it's not all guns and bullets. SEALs carry a whole arsenal of explosives and tactical gear to stay safe and dominate any situation. Truth be told, it's hard to say who has the better arsenal, Raiders or SEALs. Both are insanely impressive and cost a small fortune. Alright, so you've seen the elite training, the diverse missions, and the unwavering dedication of both Navy SEALs and Marine Raiders. Now, the question you might be asking is, who's better? The truth is, it's not that simple. These units are the best of the best, each with unique strengths and complement the other. SEALs are the Swiss Army knife, versatile and ready for anything. Raiders are the specialist tools for amphibious warfare and direct action raids behind enemy lines. They often integrate with Marine forces and specialize in unconventional warfare. The key takeaway, both Navy SEALs and Marine Raiders play critical roles in the U.S. Special Operations. They work together alongside allies and partners to form an unstoppable force that safeguards the world order.